let's take Barack, for example. You still take my breath away. How?
Right.
With your anger? With your complete inability to just get with the program and show up?
At the inauguration, so I have to walk in like a lonely soldier. Got to spend a minute on the Obamas because there seems to be some momentum picking up in the rumor mill about their marriage. All right, I'm going to bring you what I know.
What if Joan Rivers' final bombshell wasn't a joke, but a dangerous truth that cost her life? This is the question that keeps surfacing every time we replay that jaw-dropping clip. The one where Joan, standing on the sidewalk in full daylight, was asked if the United States would ever see its first homosexual president or female president. With her signature dryness and zero hesitation, Joan fired back, "We already have a homosexual president, it's Obama, so let's just calm down." And with her trademark wink, she delivered the real haymaker. You know, Michelle is a transsexual, a transgender. We all know. There it was, out in the open, a public declaration that turned from street-side punchline into an internet thunderclap, ricocheting from gossip blogs to mainstream outlets and back again.
Oh, but if it is true, it truly would be a political earthquake in Democrat circles. Never mind America. I don't remember a presidential divorce in modern history.
The comment went so viral, the media practically dislocated its jaw, chewing on the wild implications, replaying every frame, every syllable, every possible hidden meaning. Was it just another Joan zinger or a coded confession? One of those classic Hollywood truths, the kind nobody's supposed to repeat aloud? Jaguar Wright, never shy about blowing up industry secrets, has gone on record insisting that Joan's words weren't just comedy, but a veiled attempt to warn the world. According to Jaguar and her network of deep insiders, Joan was absolutely serious, and everyone in the right circles knew exactly what she was hinting at. What made the world shudder wasn't just what Joan said, but who she was when she said it. Rivers wasn't some washed-up attention seeker desperate for a headline. She was the original queen of unfiltered, a woman with nothing to lose and a reputation for slicing through public facades like a hot knife through butter. She'd roasted everyone, everywhere, and somehow survived the fallout. Until now. This time, she wasn't just poking fun at someone's dress or their botched facelift. She was reaching directly into the fortress of American power and yanking out a taboo nobody dared touch. Jaguar Wright has doubled down, claiming that her own sources in the entertainment world were buzzing after Joan's sidewalk confession, not treating it as a throwaway line, but as a direct shot at one of the most guarded secrets in DC. A transgender we all know. There's a reason those words became a rallying cry for a million conspiracy theorists and amateur body language experts with slow-motion YouTube channels and too much time on their hands. And every time Jaguar Wright mentions it in her streams, the audience numbers explode because people believe she has access to those hidden corridors of information.
So the truth about Jen and Barack is that there is no truth.
There is
it
no
is
truth.
Untrue. You know Barack Obama.
I've met him once.
Met him once.
I know Michelle more than him.
What is there a truth about you and Michelle that we should know?
That is not true.
The timing was no less than spine-chilling. Within weeks, Joan Rivers was gone, slipping away on an operating table during what was supposed to be a routine procedure at a Manhattan clinic. Her heart stopped, her brain was starved of oxygen, and she never woke up. The official story reads like an episode of some procedural drama. Doctors ignoring warning signs, giving the wrong anesthetic dose, even performing part of the procedure without her written consent. Investigations dragged on, malpractice lawsuits were settled, fingers were pointed, jobs lost. But for the people who live and breathe hidden meanings and cover-ups, especially those following Jaguar Wright's ongoing exposés, the real cause of her departure had already been written. Speak the wrong truth and you pay the ultimate price. Jaguar insists that her inner circle was warned to keep their mouths shut, that the message sent was as clear as day, a dangerous pattern, some say, and Rivers' last act wasn't a punchline, but a warning. One that Jaguar Wright, unlike most, refuses to let the world forget. The so-called Rivers' final warning rumor lit up the back channels and message boards. Whispers started almost instantly. Joan, it was said, had been working on a tell-all book, one meant to pull back the curtain not just on the Obamas, but on a who's who of untouchable American royalty. Supposedly, she'd told close friends that she was ready to go further than she'd ever gone before, expose the kind of secrets that would detonate political and celebrity worlds alike. And then, just like that, she was silenced. Was her sudden demise at the hands of distracted doctors merely a tragic coincidence, or something far more calculated? As the rumors took shape, every odd detail from the clinic's behavior, every botched note in her medical record, became a clue in a shadowy game. Accident began to sound like a code word, a signal that certain truths are simply too dangerous to survive in daylight. Even Alex Jones, never shy about wild claims, jumped in insisting she knew too much. She came too close. Did the powers that be, the ones always rumored to operate behind velvet curtains and backroom deals, move to erase a liability before she could go to print?
The rocks. The question now isn't if, but when. If I had to guess, they will wait until after the inauguration to announce it. Timing, is everything. And yet the story doesn't end there. For months, I've heard Jennifer Aniston's name tied to Barack. At first, it seemed ridiculous, but the rumors have remained steady among New York.
If this all sounds like a fever dream stitched together from late-night talk radio and the deepest corners of the internet, consider how quickly the dots begin to connect. A fearless comic crosses a line. She hints at a shadow world. Suddenly, she's gone in a way that doesn't add up. Her daughter, Melissa, received condolences from the White House. A nice touch, sure. But even that was folded into the conspiracy. To her admirers, Joan had always made people laugh and made them think, but it's that last bit that really rattled the cage this time. The message was clear. Some secrets make you famous, others get you erased. And if you think the whispers would stop at Joan, think again. The next chapter in this shadowy drama unfolded with the Tafari Campbell was eliminated theory. Tafari, the Obama's personal chef, reportedly drowned under circumstances so strange that the tabloids couldn't resist. A talented chef, fit, in his prime, found floating near the former president's property. The official explanation, just another tragic accident, landed with a dull thud for anyone who'd been following the ever-widening circle of odd coincidences. Why would a man so familiar with the water, someone the Obamas had known for years, suddenly vanish in the most unexplainable way possible? Why, just when old rumors about the Obama secrets were peaking again, did another person in their orbit meet a mysterious end?
Not to add insult to injury, but there's a Daily Mail report out today saying Kamala Harris's marriage may be on the rocks. Like everybody's on the rocks. Again, I will say I love the Daily Mail, but the sourcing appeared weak. It was like people who know the couple, but I don't know if it's any better than that. But they're saying she's blaming him in part for her loss because he turned out to be such a hot mess liability. You buy it?
Patterns. That's what everyone started seeing. Joan says too much and is erased under medical cover. Campbell is gone under a shroud of silence. Those two events, on their own, could be shrugged off by skeptics as unlucky fate, but together they draw a line straight through the heart of the world's most powerful family. Was it all really just about a joke, or was Joan trying to ring the alarm on something darker? Something she hinted at but never got to finish. Each time we sift through the fragments, the official statements, the lawsuits, the tweets, the viral interviews, the questions just get heavier. Who decides what secrets stay secrets? And what else are the Obamas hiding behind the perfectly curated social media posts and the carefully worded tributes? It's not as if the rumors have faded down over the years. If anything, the wildfire keeps getting fed, especially as the Obamas' private lives become the favorite playground for both tabloid editors and online sleuths. Every missed funeral, every skipped inauguration, every social media message gets dissected for clues. When Michelle Obama didn't attend Trump's inauguration or skipped Jimmy Carter's farewell, the speculation went thermonuclear. Was she simply making a political statement, or was there something more, something simmering behind closed doors? Barack posts a gushing birthday tribute, "Happy birthday to the love of my life," and the internet, instead of cooing, sniffs for trouble. Was it genuine love, or a staged display to smother the rumors of a fractured marriage? We all know the drill. Power couples, when the lights are off, are rarely what they seem.
More fuel on the fire that there's a potential, maybe a divorce or some sort of rockiness going on in the Obamas' relationship. They both posted these mirrored, very choreographed Valentine's Day messages on X.
And of course, every power couple attracts their own gravity field of wild stories. The latest, if you haven't been paying attention, is the utterly surreal rumor that Barack Obama has been quietly dating Jennifer Aniston. That's right. While the divorce gossip swirls around the Obamas, the tabloids leapt at the chance to drag America's favorite friend into the vortex. The story's so bizarre, even Aniston herself had to laugh, shutting it down with a giggle on live television. Absolutely untrue. But what does it say about the current state of celebrity gossip that this scenario even made it to print? Supposed insiders claim Michelle feels betrayed. While unnamed friends of Barack suggest the two are closer than people know, even Aniston, hardened by a lifetime of Pit Jolie tabloid crossfire, admitted she was baffled by how far the rumors went, but also worried about how the story might affect Michelle. Meanwhile, no denials from Obama's camp, no official rebuttals, just a vacuum for speculation to keep echoing.
Publicist, where you're just like, oh no, what's it going to be? Or the email saying, some cheesy tabloid is going to make up a story, and then it's that.
Yeah. Does
I
your
was not
publicist
mad
ever
at
go
it.
like, is there any truth to this? Or is it...
No, that is absolutely untrue.
Well, I know it's not true.
Yeah.
I just don't know if everybody knows.
Well, it is untrue.
Some people, it is untrue.
Fuel to the fire or just more background noise in an already surreal news cycle? That's where things get interesting. Meghan McCain, hardly a fringe figure, stoked the flames herself, hinting on her podcast that she'd heard from very serious journalists that the Obamas were living separate lives, that the divorce rumors were real, and that the Aniston story was just the tip of the iceberg. When pressed for details, everyone circles back to the same cryptic observations: the missed events, the awkward photos, the distance that only eagle-eyed fans claim to spot. Social media, always hungry for scandal, eats up every last morsel. Nobody wants to believe in happy endings, at least not when the alternative is this much more interesting.
No, so here's the thing, and this is one other theory of the case. Maybe Jennifer Aniston is the Biden's answer to George Clooney here, right? I mean, maybe this, because I'll be honest, I have heard this sort of thing rumbling around in D.C., and there's some connections there with the, like, people, what you would call reputable people because they served in an administration.
If there's one thing we've learned watching these stories ricochet around the internet and back again, it's that a vacuum of information is an invitation for every rumor, every anonymous source, every suspiciously convenient insider to come crawling out of the woodwork. 1 minute, a tabloid is running a cover story with the truth about Jen and Barack, and the next, Vanity Fair and a slew of other outlets are scrambling to put the genie back in the bottle, calling the claims beyond absurd, categorically untrue, and blaming the usual suspects for spreading MAGA world gossip. Still, as long as the power couple at the center of it all keeps playing their cards close to the chest, smiling for the camera, holding hands across the table, posting their perfectly filtered tributes, nobody's quite willing to close the book on any of it. There's always a nagging possibility that where there's this much smoke, something is smoldering just out of sight.
Jennifer Aniston, it was her circle of friends there allegedly discussing this. I mean, we don't know, but
that's how you know it's true.
Is it so hard to believe?
Like, when a woman tells another woman, yeah, you can tell me, I'll keep a secret, the phone's already out. Now it's about to hit a group chat. So that is, to me, the most conclusive piece of evidence.
And through it all, the original Joan Rivers question hangs in the air, heavier than ever. Was it all just another over-the-top joke? Or did she know something that we're still too scared to face? Because for every denial, every carefully worded press statement, every friend who goes on the record, there's a whole underworld of whispers ready to tell us that we're only scratching the surface of a scandal that could upend everything we think we know about America's most polished, most protected, most untouchable couple. And just when we think the dust might settle, another detail, another slip, another suspicious coincidence seems to bubble up, daring us to look a little closer, question a little deeper, and wonder what else might be lurking in the shadows.
And that's the thing is, so the Bidens and the Obamas hate each other because Michelle Obama is very good friends with Hunter Biden's ex-wife. So that's led to a significant problem where they don't like Hunter, and if you don't like Hunter, Joe doesn't like you. Yeah. So I would not be surprised if Holmes is right on with this of like, oh, well, why don't we do this?
It's like, oh man, you give us problems, maybe you can have a problem.
If we look past the polished Instagram tributes and the carefully coordinated photo ops, a new layer of speculation emerges, one that goes straight to the heart of the Obama marriage itself. The so-called Obama marriage contract theory is gaining traction among insiders and curious onlookers alike. According to this persistent whisper, Barack and Michelle were never just a love story for the ages. Their union was in fact a calculated alliance, a mutually beneficial agreement, forged in the trenches of Chicago politics, designed to project the perfect image for public consumption. Michelle's classic appeal, her steel trap poise, her relatable mom-in-chief persona, and her knack for drawing in middle America made her the ideal first lady for a man with ambitions as sky-high as the Sears Tower. Barack's meteoric rise from obscure state senator to the most powerful office on earth simply wouldn't have happened without that picture-perfect family at his side.
She is not sorry.
They are looking forward. All the women in your life are looking forward.
All the women in my life are looking forward to being able to live a more normal life.
Yeah, but still not entirely normal. Obviously, everybody's under the microscope at all times. A little bit more. And you're staying in Washington, D.C., which is unusual for an exiting president.
Now, with the post-presidential years stretching out and the demands of the campaign trail in the rear view, we're left to wonder, what's left of the deal? Is there anything holding them together besides the memory of power? Michelle, by many accounts, has always hated the spotlight. She said it herself, publicly, and with enough frequency to sound like more than just a throwaway gripe. She did not really like being First Lady. As one Washington reporter dryly noted, we see her absences pile up. No Michelle at Jimmy Carter's funeral, no Michelle at Trump's inauguration. Sure, official statements chalk it up to scheduling conflicts, but for those watching the body language, the message reads loud and clear. Is this just a woman who finally has her own life back? Or is it the most elegant exit strategy from a marriage that's run its course?
But she, I still remember when I was thinking about running for president. She said, I think you would make an outstanding president, and I would work so hard to make sure you were president. You're the kind of person we need if I weren't married to you.
Meanwhile, Barack appears to be leading hard into his Hollywood rebirth. From high-gloss Netflix deals to A-list dinner parties, he's playing the game like a seasoned pro, courting the elite and living his higher ground brand in the most literal sense. But as he rubs elbows in LA and scripts his own legacy as a content mogul, Michelle seems more and more like a reluctant co-star who never asked for this sequel. And in the face of rumors about everything from secret romances to separate living arrangements, we get the oddest gestures of affection. A birthday message, a tightly cropped hand-holding photo, a caption that feels rehearsed. "Happy birthday to the love of my life, Michelle Obama," he wrote, sharing a dinner table shot that looked more like a diplomatic negotiation than a lover's retreat. And while fans gushed, skeptics pounced. Is this genuine devotion or just the latest bit of damage control in a campaign that never really ended? Theories multiply in this climate of ambiguity. Meghan McCain, never one to hold her tongue, dropped the claim that she's heard from very serious journalists that the divorce rumors are real. A growing number of Beltway insiders, people who track the Obamas like hawks, insist the couple lives separate lives. Their last public dinner together, weeks ago in LA, and even then, the photo coverage felt more staged than candid. It's not hard to imagine that if their marriage ever was a contract, the ink is starting to fade.
Don't do that. I mean, look, they all have their smartphones, and they're texting with their friends. They're doing all the stuff that the teenagers are doing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Michelle and I try to emphasize to them that they don't want to be
In the
on
news.
TMZ.
Yeah, right.
But maybe the juiciest turn is the theory that their daughters, Malia and Sasha, are part of an even deeper cloak and dagger routine. The Malia and Sasha double life story isn't just internet fan fiction, it's a full-blown obsession for conspiracy buffs. According to this swirling rumor, the Obama daughters have lived behind layers of obfuscation, with alternate identities, strategic name changes, even entirely fabricated backstories. The internet detectives point to the tight control around their public appearances, the almost complete lack of childhood photos before Barack's presidential run, and a suspicious number of unexplained gaps in timelines. One thread insists that the girls' birth records are impossible to verify, that early press photos are often fuzzy or appear digitally altered, and that their very existence has been managed like a state secret. Why would anyone go to such lengths? For believers in this theory, the answer is obvious. The Obamas, so determined to control every element of their image, were willing to construct a family narrative from scratch if it helped keep their secrets under wraps. It would explain, they say, why Michelle's mom-in-chief persona always felt a touch too perfect, why the daughter's private school attendance was guarded by enough security to stage a coup, and why we almost never see them in candid, spontaneous moments, even their forays into college life. Sasha at USC, Malia in LA are tightly regulated, with very few real-world friends speaking on record about their social lives. Are they protecting their safety, or is there something deeper to hide? At what point does caution become concealment?
I have to say, though, those weren't that mean. I mean, look, I've got to tell you, you should see what the Senate says about me all the time. I mean, that was some piker stuff.
We've seen this kind of myth-making before, but never at this level, never so disciplined. The more we try to untangle the facts, the more questions emerge. Is it possible that the perfect family story was always just a carefully scripted narrative? A front for something nobody was ever supposed to see? Were Malia and Sasha cast in roles they never chose? Did the family values photo ops simply serve as a human shield protecting the power players behind them from uncomfortable scrutiny? Those who chase these questions point to every tiny inconsistency, missed milestones, contradictory anecdotes, the eerie absence of extended relatives as possible clues. A family with nothing to hide, they argue, wouldn't need this much control, this much secrecy, this much perfectly executed stagecraft. All of this, of course, spins back to the ultimate question: how far would the Obamas go to protect the image they built, and at what cost? It's not just about protecting daughters from the tabloid wolves or shielding a marriage from ugly headlines. It's about legacy, about the story that gets told in history books, about guarding whatever it is they don't want the world to know. We've seen the lengths that public figures go to, locking down information, deploying legal threats, shaping every scrap of content that hits the web. If the rumors are true, this isn't just a matter of personal privacy. It's a high-stakes chess game, with careers, reputations, and perhaps much more hanging in the balance. As for Michelle and Barack themselves, every move they make now is under a microscope. Michelle's increasing distance from public events is read as either quiet rebellion or silent retreat. Barack's newfound Hollywood swagger is seen by some as freedom, by others as betrayal. Friends close to the couple, the kind that leaked just enough to keep us guessing, insist that trust still binds them. But the absence of joint appearances and the steady drip of rumors say otherwise. The only thing that's truly clear is that the facade, if it ever was a contract, is starting to show its cracks.
But we're doing great. The girls are good. Barack is working. We've got projects going. So we're staying busy and traveling. We've had some fun.
Are you still working on a lot?
Yeah,
I'm not going to challenge you to anything.
Yeah, no. I'm not dressed for a challenge.
I'm not either.
Meanwhile, the Joan Rivers mystery hangs over it all like a thundercloud nobody wants to address directly. The message is unmistakable. Speak the unspeakable and you risk disappearing. So we're left with speculation, piecing together clues from official denials and backroom chatter, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Are the daughters really living double lives, or is this just the price of celebrity in a surveillance age? Is the Obama marriage a political relic or a love story turned cold by the spotlight? And most chilling of all, what other secrets are being protected with the kind of discipline that makes even veteran journalists nervous? Joan Rivers dared to speak out, and she paid the ultimate price. But the Obama secrets are far from buried. What else are they hiding, and who will be the next to uncover the truth? Let us know your wildest theories in the comments below. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the juiciest stories are the ones hiding in plain sight.